Serious. My guest, Ronnie Mcmullen, GetTheT.com. And Ronnie, it's great to have you on the broadcast today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Ronnie, last time we talked, I'd been to the doctor. You know, I'd had hepatitis, but you won't believe what's happened. My cholesterol had went to 230. My triglycerides had went to 990. My doctor said, we got to do something. I started cutting out some of the starches, backing off on some of the carbs, but I started drinking GetTheT.com religiously, and I asked a lot of people to pray for me. And between the prayer and the Get the T, you won't believe what happened. My cholesterol fell to 108, and my triglycerides fell to 120, which is almost impossible. The doctor says, it's a miracle. It's impossible. What are you doing? I said, praying and GetTheT.com. Ronnie, can that happen?
It can. It very much can. It sounds like because when you got sick, your body was out of whack, so it was doing some adjusting, and the tea probably helped a little bit, but it sounds like the prayer probably helped a lot more. So yeah. you're rocking now. You must be feeling a lot of energy.
I feel great. I'm not sluggish. I've got energy. I've lost a couple pounds. I got to lose a few more. But hey, I'm on the way, and I'm drinking GetTheT.com. I can tell you that it's really good. And some supplements also that you recommended to me. And so, wow, I'm happy. Really am.
That's awesome.
Ronnie, there's some things going on in the world right now that I got to get your opinion. One is we've got some holistic medical doctors, alternative medicine. In an 18-month period, 60 of them have died either murdered or unexplainable deaths. And I mean, I've got the list of names of all 60. And you got one guy, they found him in the woods, hanging from a tree, wearing a rubber suit. We got another, several jogging cars come by and hit them, drive-bys. Some of them shot, been found dead in their homes. Some drowning in the river when they're out for a jog. Just weird stuff. I can't believe that 60 of these these holistic doctors, I can't believe that they're just all having strange deaths or committing suicide. So, Ronnie, what's going on? Who's coming against the alternative medicine here?
Well, here's how I see it, and this is just opinion. First of all, when you have major coincidences, it's usually not a coincidence. Right. You have these guys that are probably working with different herbs and doing natural stuff to figure out how to, and this is the truth, they're trying to figure out how to cure diseases. If you notice, our pharmaceutical industry doesn't know that word at all. They don't know cure or heal, because anytime that you take one of their pharmaceutical drugs for a disease which they have named, and half of them they've created, then what you'll find is it never goes away. In other words, how long, if I have high blood pressure, how long do I take this drug? Forever. I've got diabetes. How long do I take this drug? Forever. I've got stomach this, that, whatever. And obviously cancer is very expensive. And I've said this before, I get very irritated when I go to a retail outlet and they ask me for a donation. And I love this one. They ask me for a donation for kids' cancer. Would you like to give money so that we can find the cure for this kids' cancer? So you go, oh, wow, for kids. We all have soft spot for our children.
Right.
But what really irritates me is the fact that why do I have to give to a company that's already making tons and tons of money off of kids, by the way, and I'm going to give to them because we already have cures for cancer. So why are we not instituting these cures for cancer? And this is what's really disturbing. There are cures for diabetes. There's cure for many things, and we're not using them. We're not allowed, or we're being shut down. So getting back to point here. So here we have holistic doctors, and they're working for herbs, and they're working and I think, and it's just an opinion, that it could be getting in the way of what we call big pharma. In other words, pharmaceutical companies that use government to lobby so they get all the laws changed. I mean, you can't even sue pharmaceutical companies now because George W. Bush. So what we have is we have a protection of these companies, and we have them growing, and they're much like a monster, very much like Monsanto.
Right. They really are. And matter of fact, of the 60 holistic medical doctors that have died, 7 of them are cancer research doctors. Okay?
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, so when you mentioned this cancer, I'm thinking of, wow. So if anybody gets too close to curing something, or actually maybe even having the chemical response to cure some of this cancer, they're ending up dead. And so this is there's a war going on. It's all about the money, no doubt about it. It's about the money. And I could never understand this, Ronnie. Why is the Drug and Food Administration in the same, I mean, drugs and food, do they supposed to go together, or are these two different government agencies? Why are they in the same agency together? Does that make sense?
I don't know. Why are we getting vaccine shots in grocery stores?
Again,
why are we? I mean, I don't understand that. You don't see that, and this is interesting too. You don't go into a tire shop and say, I need 4 new tires on my car. Oh, would you like to get a vaccine? Right? We don't see that, do we?
But I mean, we might. The way it's going,
we might. It's maybe getting that bad. You picked up for a traffic violation, and the officer gives you a vaccine. I mean, we're heading to that direction.
Wow, it's just insane. Speaking of that, I mean, Obamacare. Okay, now we heard the Republicans tell us, hey, they get in control. If we get in control, we're going to repeal. We're going to repeal. We're going to repeal. And they did vote to repeal like 40 some times. Now they have what's supermajority. They have both the House, the Senate, and the White House. Now we're hearing something different, Ronnie. Instead of repeal and replace, we're hearing the word repair. Can you help me understand this?
Yeah, I can't understand this at all. And there's some talk show hosts that are really angry about this, because I don't know if this is because there's so much chaos in the White House right now, because obviously we're seeing the establishment, is what I call them. We can call them New World Order. We can call them anything we want, but we'll call them the establishment for a case here. So the establishment's very upset. All their Democrats that are their pawns are doing everything they can to come against Trump. And I've never seen the country be quite like it is right now. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And so I don't know if the situation's happening where Trump is going to have to back down, so he's going to say repair, or if that's minions talking about repair, and he's basically still pulling we need to replace, we need to repeal. I don't know what's going on. And they're talking about even they were supposed to reform taxes, and they're talking about waiting for that. They're talking about the actual new Affordable Care Act, whatever they're going to call it, is a year away. And there are people on the Hill saying absolutely not. And of course, the majority seems to be throwing fits and being in the streets with anger fits and everything else, saying we need time to fix and repair Obamacare. And you know what? I'll tell you, maybe you have something on this, but I don't understand why Obama's still in Washington. The guy is a loser when it comes to a president, and he's sitting in Washington. Why?
Well, I think he's collecting right now. I think he's got to build his presidential library, and he's sitting there right now, and he's collecting. And maybe he's so young, maybe he's trying to figure out a way to become the Secretary General of the United Nations, which is only, I think, 5 years away. He could actually get that spot. Maybe he's going to remain a player, or maybe he's orchestrating all these protests in the airports and on the streets. Everything, every time you look around, it's a protest. And
I think it's the latter. I think you're right on. He's probably organizing the protest.
I mean, that's all he knows to do. He's a community organizer. I mean, so he's good at it. So
yeah.
Look, I think what you've heard about the repair, I've yet to hear Trump say repair. I've heard him say repeal and replace. I think you're right. That some of this is the minions, some of this is the pressure that guys like Marco Rubio and different guys on the Hill that are kind of waffling in the Republican Party. They're looking for a quick fix, something easy, something that might satisfy the base, but let the big guys, the big pharmaceutical guys, don't want the money to stop flowing. And so there's a ton of pressure.
And Rubio's a top minion. He really is. So this is a guy that, the wind blows, he'll turn whichever way.
Right.
But I think, and a lot of people are scared of the big pharmas because just like the holistic doctors, they're going to end up in a ditch. And so they're scared of this.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not. And you're actually right out there helping with these supplements, helping people to get looking for a different way, another way around from just being consumed with the pharmaceutical medicines just piling on. People were taking handfuls of it. It's good to have other options that are more natural, more holistic, and getting results. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I got to tell you. So,
Well, I think it's sad. In fact, this is a quote, and this is a very interesting quote. It says, "I never have and never will approve a new drug to an individual, but only on a large pharmaceutical company with unlimited finances." Dr. Richard J. Kraut, director of the FDA Bureau of Drugs. That's an interesting quote, don't you think?
Oh my, that's he's for sale. You talk about what kind
that's right there. It's in your face.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Ronnie? I mean, that's just awful. But that's the swamp. That's the swamp that we're talking about, isn't it?
I think La Brea tar. Yes. I mean, I think Trump got in this thinking that, he's got this dirty water. You got to get, the muddied waters. We got to get it clean. I don't think he was counting on tar.
No, I think you're right. I
think he was thinking mud, and now he's in tar, and he's like, wow.
It's going to be a battle. I mean, it's going to be a real battle. Every secretary, every cabinet member, he's got a battle on his hands. When he tries to shut the borders for just 90 days, just a temporary ban to try to make sure we don't get terrorists coming in, he's got some left-wing, liberal-leaning judge out in Washington telling him it's unconstitutional. Yet it can't be unconstitutional. No American citizen is being told they can't enter the country. Only people who aren't citizens from the 7 worst out-of-control nations in the world that the Obama administration even said it was. I mean, Trump is battling the courts. He's battling the Democrats. He's battling the establishment and the Republicans, the mass media. I mean, you name it, he's fighting them all. Protesters. What? Chuck Schumer. All of them. It's insane.
Chuck. Let me cry a little bit. I'm good at it. I think it's disgusting, and I think it's really interesting. He's doing all these battles, and yet Barack Obama in 2008 did the same thing. Nothing was said. No big deal. We're okay with this. It's all right. And we had a falling economy like a big dog. And it's just, there's corruption in every neck of the woods, even to the point of, I was reading up on this Congressman Waxman, Henry Waxman, which was a Democrat. He just stepped down from California, which he was also the instigator, if anybody wants to know this. He was the instigator and the writer of the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare. He wrote all of that. And he's won for votes for the FDA being strengthened, the EPA. I mean, this guy is like anti-American. He's totally for corporations. You could buy this guy for $5. And now he stepped down, so he's going to go join his son in this private, I like this word, firm.
Oh, yeah.
Private firm. And they're going to go be lobbyists, probably for the pharmaceutical companies and everybody else, because he's obviously the one that tried in 2010 to put a anti-vitamin amendment into a Wall Street reform bill. So there's people like this, and he's not the only one. There's all kinds of people, I mean, that are definitely pro-big companies because they get paid.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like you said earlier, it's all about the money.
Oh, wow. It really is. And Henry Waxman has been a problem. I mean, like you said, when he was in the Congress, the guy was always confrontational. He was always delusional. But absolutely, he's just for sale. And it doesn't take much to buy him. He'll as the wind blows, so will Henry Waxman go. And
I think he sold his grandma for 25 cents.
There you go. So this guy, here we go. It's ugly. Keep praying for Trump out there, folks, and for the current administration. I mean, Betsy DeVos just got confirmed, it took Mike Pence coming down from the White House to cast the 51st vote, 5150, because we had some establishment Republicans jump ship at the last second, almost derailed the train. They don't want to change the educational thing. I mean, isn't education important, Ronnie? I mean, isn't that what you've been doing? Teaching people how to eat better and how to take better supplements. Can you help me understand? I mean, there's things your company offers that's truly helpful to the human body, wouldn't you say?
I feel it is, and I don't worry. How do I say this? If people want to get it somewhere else, that's fine. But the biggest thing I try to do is educate, and educating people that when you're buying, some people will be, maybe I can get it cheaper over here, but you might not be getting organic. You might be getting some kind of GMO product. We are GMO free. We are organic if it can be. And we try to do pricing as well as we can, and we try to teach people to use the stuff, but why you're using it, what is it you're taking, what does it do? And we send these little papers in there that basically say, if you're going to order grapeseed extract, then you want to know, what does it do? You want to know that it helps with poor circulation. You want to know that it helps with high blood pressure. You want to know that it helps with your cholesterol levels. See, you want to know these things.
Yeah.
A lot of times we go to, say, a vitamin store and we get something. Oh, yeah, and then somebody talks about it. Okay, I buy this, and you take it home, sits on the shelf, you never use it, and then you finally, a month later, I forgot. I grabbed that stuff. Now, what does it do? I don't remember, and it's not on the bottle. The reason it's not on the bottle is because the FDA will come down like a big, giant grizzly bear. Wow. And so it's not on the bottle. You don't know what it does. And so what do? You put it back on the shelf. So we try to teach people to say, hey, take this, and here's why. Because it reduces swelling. It helps you with your bones. It helps you with your vision. And people go, wow, I want that. And then guess what? It doesn't sit on the shelf. They use it. You took the tea. Look what happened to your body. So this is what's powerful.
What about cinnamon? I mean, you've got a product, cinnamon Kalon, I think it's called. What does that do for us? Just because cinnamon is something that people use, not in a supplements point of view maybe or approach, but just sprinkling cinnamon. So what is this product?
Cinnamon is very powerful because it's really for people that have blood sugar problems. It's also really good for anti-clotting. Okay, it's an anti-inflammatory. It's antimicrobial, so it is reduces blood sugar levels. Trace minerals, it's an excellent source of fiber and trace minerals. So it even has a good source of calcium in it. So I think if anybody has any blood sugar issues, and we'll just leave it at that, you want to take cinnamon. And again, this cinnamon is organic and non-GMO. So it's really, I take it every day. Folks, but I probably take 25, 30 different supplements a day.
Wow. So
that I can do what I do. I was very sick 10 years ago. Yeah. So between the tea and then picking up everything and now, I mean, I take 25, 30 supplements. So now when they spray us, Pastor, when they spray us with all these trails and they call it geoengineering or they call it chemtrails, they call it all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Climate change is the last one. But when they spray this, everybody gets sick. In fact, I just read an issue on NBC News, and they said 40 states with influenza. 40 states all at one time.
It's massive.
Okay?
Yep.
So where did it come from? See, nobody ever questions that. Where did it come from? And everybody's like,
Nobody knows.
You're right. Did it just come out of the trees? And I love this. We've got this big thing where I'm allergic to this, and it's the pollen in the air. In December, in January, in February? Serious? What do you think, the trees are stupid? So no. This is not happening the way but if we get enough media going, they can make us think that we're going to be abducted by aliens tomorrow.
That's right. That's what they're trying. And that is one thing they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do. So what we have to do is get wise to their games and say, okay, and here's the thing, this whole influenza head cold went around, and I'll be honest, I got it. I got it, and 3 days later, it was gone. Most people had it for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I told my wife, I said, I can't imagine if I didn't take all these supplements that I'm taking, I cannot imagine how long I'd be sick. And who wants to lay in bed for 2 weeks suffering?
No. Folks, this is Ronnie Mcmullen with us, getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. And I can tell you, I'm giving you a testimony right now that I was drinking getthetea.com every day, 3 months, and asking people to pray for me. And I guarantee you prayer works, okay? And getthetea.com is just another way to make sure that you're getting the appropriate cleansing of the herbs, which God made. No GMO. So Ronnie, there's situations developing also. People are wondering about some of the other products you have. You mentioned the grapeseed extracts, but you also have a liquid pine bark extracts. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the pine bark. I love the liquid pine bark, and obviously pine bark. If anything in a liquid, okay, people say, well, why liquid versus pill? Liquid goes into your bloodstream a lot faster. So it's not that the pill is a bad thing. It's just that the liquid is a now thing, right now. Okay. So basically what it does for the pine bark is it helps boost kidney function. It helps relieve, this is kind of interesting, it relieves hemorrhoids. For people that have diabetic retinopathy, okay, this will help you with that. And here's the biggest thing, and this is really huge, and people need to realize this. Inflammation is huge, and we say that so candidly all the time that we don't realize really what it's doing. So if you're having headaches all the time, it could be inflammation, different things that are going inside your body. If you're inflamed, if you're swollen, your eyes could change, your how you feel things, how your blood flow is, inflammation. So anytime you have anti-inflammation, something that reduces inflammation, you're going to feel better. This helps with arthritis. It helps with the immune system, and it's great for allergies. So again, if you're into the liquids, it's right now.
I got to ask you, Ronnie, you've got a product called Ocean Sleep. And I said, what is that? I mean, it sounds relaxing. What is Ocean Sleep?
Ocean Sleep is from the ocean. It's from the sea urchin. And it does a lot more actually than just kind of mellow us out. Now, here's the thing about if you're having sleeping problems, first of all, stop watching TV right before you go to bed. But if you're having sleeping problems and you kind of wound, maybe you're thinking of business things that day, or you're nervous about this, that, or the other, family issues, whatever. The Ocean Sleep kind of goes into your body and it just kind of mellows you out. It won't put you out to where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so groggy, I can't drive. It's not like that. It just kind of mellows you out, almost like, and it's also kind of good for anti-inflammation. So you just kind of take it and you just kind of, and I always think there's a connection, at least for me, I feel there's a connection to the sea. I love the ocean. So when I take it, I don't know, I somehow connect and it just mellows me out. Now, I tried it, you kind of think, yeah, right. But I did. I tried it. But it does a lot of other things, too. If you have nail fungus, it's really good about being a fighter for nail fungus. There's all kinds of neat little things that this little guy does. So Ocean Sleep, to me, it's like it gives you a little bit of rest and lets you sleep a little better. Is there certain
minerals, or is there certain... What are they putting in there from the ocean that has these properties?
It's from the sea urchin, and what it is these properties from the sea urchin, which is it's pretty neat what it does, and it's got natural minerals in it and everything else. But it's a powerful tool. It's it's something that there's a lot of hidden secrets in the sea. I'll just put it that way.
Well, it sounds wonderful, and it sounds like it's something that really help folks who really struggle with insomnia and they get too wound up. Maybe they drink too much coffee. I mean, anything. You also
got to back down to the caffeine. Got to back down to the caffeine.
Right. You also have some products that's really good for people's hair and skin. You want to talk about that some?
Hair and skin. I would say hair and skin would be the sea vegetables, going back to the sea again. Okay. And these, again, have some really good properties in them that, and I don't know all the basis of the sea vegetables and how they all work perfectly with the body, but I noticed when I started carrying them and started taking them, it will actually grow your nails. It will thicken your hair. It will grow hair. And so, again, there's so many hidden things in the sea. And in fact, a lot of people don't even know there's many of the organic fertilizer that we use on our plants today is sea-based. So there's natural calcium, magnesium, manganese. There's all kinds of good stuff in there that is, including potassium, that are really, it's so funny when you look at what plant food, not the chemical or the petroleum chemicals that they use, but the actual plant food, natural plant food, it's really close to what we're supposed to be eating as human beings. The plants are much closer to us than we think.
And I've been doing a little study on salt, I mean, because in the Bible it talks about, bring a salt, always put salt on your offering. There's a covenant of salt. So, and again, salt from the sea. Anytime you have any skin issues, you can get out there into the ocean a little bit, get some of that ocean water on you, get a little sun. It seems to cure about everything,
Right.
So it's just a natural healer, isn't it?
Yeah, salt. We've been taught that salt's bad. Okay. There's a doctor, I can't pronounce his last name, but I call him Batman because part of his name is Batman. And he did a whole book on water, and he did a whole thing on salt. First of all, the best salt that you can have is the Himalayan pink salt.
That's right.
The very strong energies in there, really a powerful salt and very good for you. The problem that we have with salt is we're not drinking enough water. So then this changes our cholesterol levels. This changes our blood pressure and everything else if we're not having the same dosage of water. So in other words, if you have too much salt, no water, nothing's washing it out, so you get in trouble.
Right.
So, but salt is good for you. And yes, God says we're the salt of the earth. So we probably need to be a little salty.
Also, you told me about Ali C. Can you reiterate a little bit more on Ali C and why you really like this product?
Well, this is good you bring this up because I'm very excited about this. Probably in another 2 days, we'll have this online. It is now called Allison Advanced. And here's what it does. Okay, Allison is nature's antibiotic. Okay, it can prevent and treat the common cold, upset stomachs, blood pressure issues. Again, this goes in so many avenues: triglycerides, cholesterol, blood circulation, ear infections, allergy, IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. This goes to town, and here's why. Because Allison is basically the healing part of the garlic clove, and there is, in one pill that you take, one capsule, there is 34 to 40 cloves of garlic.
Wow.
And if you do any research on garlic and you see what garlic does for your body, it is absolutely a mind blower. It is like, talk about the healer. Wow. So when you have this, and then on top of that, we put vitamin C in that, which I can go the rounds with that one. Beautiful thing. And most people are deficient in B12. So the Allison Advanced, which will be out in 2 days, it's going to be a 2-month supply. The price got lowered.
Okay.
And that's one of the big thing. I'm excited about that. So the price got lowered. It goes into a 2-month supply, and it has a little bit of B12 in it. So if you're B12 deficient, you're going to feel really good, and this product's going to be wonderful. Again, it'll be out in about 2 days, and it's going to do so much for your body because the Allison is the same as Ali C. It's this exact same. Everything is the same except there's just an additive of B12. The price got lowered, and you go to a 2-month supply versus 1.
Wow. Folks, Ronnie Mcmullen with us, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Check out the website. It's all there. It's very well organized, help you understand which supplements might be best for each individual. Everybody's different, right, Ronnie?
Everybody's different, and things don't always work on certain people the way they work on somebody else. But you also have, there's little key events. What are you eating? Diet is important. How much raw vegetables are you eating? Very important. And the reason the raw vegetables are important is because this is what's going to go acidic or alkaline. The more vegetables you do, the more alkaline you go. Another sneak trick is obviously slice a piece of lemon, put it in some water, drink your water all day. You'll naturally, even though that's an acidic, it actually naturally throws you alkaline, which means when you take a supplement, it will actually bond to your body better than if you're acidic. And what the companies are hoping is by going with their GMO products and then lots of sugar in their products and all the garbage that's in products, that you will go acidic. And that's what they want. If you're acidic, you get sick. And if you get sick and you have low oxygen, low energy, everything else, now you're breeding cancer. So they have their ways to get you in the hospital, and you can have your ways to be out of the hospital. So it's your choice.
Amen. Amen. Well, Ronnie, I tell you what, really appreciate it. Give you the last word. What do you recommend? Any specials that's available right now? Final words, Ronnie Mcmullen, getthetea.com.
The specials. Everybody loves a special. I'm going to do a special. It should be up by the end of the week. I'm going to do a special on the new Allison Advanced. There's also going to be the colostrum. And for those of you that have already tried it, you know it works, don't you? And for those of you that are doing the LEC, make sure you do your blood work so that you can see how powerful that tool is, because the doctors are always blown away. So do blood work. That's how you know if it's working. But anyway, so the T's powerful, number 1. Number 2, colostrum and LEC. So the Allison Advance will be in this. I'm going to do a 3-pack special. It should be out by the weekend. And I'm very, very excited about it because it'll save you money and you'll have the big 3 heavy hitters with you.
Wow. Folks, Ronnie Mcmullen, once again, gettheT.com. As always, Ronnie, it's a pleasure to have you on today.
It's a pleasure, Pastor Paul. Thank you so much for having me on.
God bless.